is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're talking about social media. If you're not on social media, you probably feel like you're missing out, but does it really help grow your business? So join me as we dive deep into this topic and really discover what it is to utilize social media. Now, social media isn't what it used to be. Remember back in the day, social media was just fun. You would post pictures of your food. You would take pictures of your dog. And it seems like it's not that anymore. It seems like there's so much pressure around social media. People hire, agencies and pay them tens of thousands of dollars a month just to show up on social media. We're one of those agencies. People pay us tens of thousands of dollars a month. So let's jump into a quick statistic. Did you know that 73% of marketers say that their social media efforts have been either effective or very effective for their business? Social media is no longer just a platform for pretty posts, likes. It's a powerhouse for growth, branding, and building relationships with customers that last. So the real question is, are you maximizing its potential, or are creative blocks holding you back? Now, we just did a video about creative blocks. If you have any questions with that, we just did a video about creative blocks. So I encourage you guys to check that out if you feel like creative blocks is something that you're struggling with. But social media, let's talk about it. So I think that there's two misconceptions. One is social media and brand building. So when a business wants to get on social media, they're like, let's get on social media. This is what we need to do. They expect immediate results. And building a brand takes a long time. Building a brand takes years sometimes. And there's a bunch of different methods, right? And there's a bunch of different ways to utilize social media. So there's the viral content. So trying to go viral is great. It's great for engaging. It's great for getting more followers. It's great for, driving traffic. But as a business, is that traffic buyers, right? That could be a problem. Okay, we're getting a ton of traffic, but there's no buyers. So there's the ecosystem of understanding the funnel, like social media being top of funnel. There's virality, and then there's building a brand. Business owners, they hire a social media agency or they hire an in-house social media person, and they're expecting, let's start with the in-house person, right? They want them to film content, edit videos, do it at a high caliber, and work the social media, when kind of creating content and working social media are two separate skills. So they hire a person, the person gets overwhelmed, or maybe they're not performing in the manner in which they'd like them to, and they don't get the results, right? And eventually they give up on that. The next option is they hire an agency. The agency is expensive. They're creating some results, but maybe they're not driving as much sales as they like, but the brand is getting built. And so then eventually they do that for a while, and then cost becomes heavy, and then they let go of the agency. So what is the answer? So I think there's two things, right? When building a brand and utilizing social media, you have to look at it in the long term. Building a brand takes time. Utilizing social media takes time. It takes time for people to build trust. It takes time to go viral. It takes time to connect with your consumers. It takes time. If you're expecting to just turn on their social media and then get sales right away, it's you're probably going to have a little bit of a letdown because it takes time. If you want just more direct sales, then what you need to focus on is a funnel and ad spend. And social media is a part of that, utilizing the ads through social media, but you need to prioritize the funnel with the organic content. And we'll go into that in a bit. So the first thing that's important, right, when utilizing your social media is engagement is key. It's not just present, right? Many people believe that having a profile on multiple platforms is sufficient, but engagement is what actually drives results. Without consistent, meaningful interactions with followers, businesses may end up with ghost followers who never even convert to actual customers. And this is huge. So I try to tell this to everybody. Social media is the same. There's no shortcut. It's the same as interacting with a person in real life. The only thing that's better about social media is you could interact with them without having to actually meet them anywhere. But you still need to interact. You need to build a relationship, a connection, a comment back, a connection with them when they send you a message or respond to something. It takes hundreds and hundreds of communications and network building to create the brand of buyers and a strong following. You have to connect with them. If you're just posting and you never interact with them, you'll get some results, and some people will interact and some people are engaged and stuff like that. But really, you have to interact with them on the long term. So another thing that I hear is quality over quantity, right? Posting frequently is not the same as providing high value. High quality, high value content is what resonates with the target audience. This is far more powerful than posting just to keep up appearances, right? Users today are savvy. They scroll past content that doesn't serve them, meaning posts without purpose or appeal can easily be overlooked. Is that true? So here's my experience. If you do hardcore quality value content, talking head, right, where you're giving them values, you're giving them answers to their solution, it does do well. It does okay. If you overwhelm your following with just that, then the traffic starts to go down. So organic phone content, doing funny skits, like sometimes that stuff performs way better. And that's really good to drive in traffic, like just random traffic to then capture them for your value add point. So funny content, value content, short skit content, all that stuff is valuable. I think it's not a matter of quality or quantity. I think it's quantity of quality. Like you need to do more volume of better better content, I think. I mean, and experiment. Like you never know. You might think that something's not valuable, but other people do find it valuable. So always try to experiment. Now, here's the sales funnel part. So understanding the sales funnel. Social media is not usually a direct sales platform. So that's what I'm saying. It's like you need to build trust and build a brand through social media. It's not a direct sales platform. Instead, it's a relationship building tool that nurtures leads down the sales funnel. Brands that focus solely on selling on their social media rather than creating content that blends in and it's educational, entertaining behind the scenes, those people often see reduced engagement and fail to build trust with their potential customers because they're just trying to sell them. And that's not how social media works. Social media, you need to build that long-term brand, that long-term connection. Now, this is a secret sauce. So if you made it to this part in the video, you're about to get my super duper secret sauce that works for my companies and what I do for our clients. So this is what I do. I run engagement ads. So I don't run lead ads. I run engagement ads because the engagement ads forces them to send you a message and interact with you. So I run engagement ads on the offer. Then I have a ManyChat automation. So if they respond to the ad, they'll get an automated message that's like, hey, here's the offer. Then from there, I interact with them, build a relationship. Hey, I saw you click through. What's your problem? Like, not like what's your problem? Like, how can I solve your problem? How can I offer the solution to your problem? Where are you at? Do you need help with content? Whatever it is that I'm running the ad for, I interact. I'm building that relationship before I drive them to click through to that lead. Because most of the time, maybe you'll get lucky, right? Maybe I'd say 30%, 20 to 30% of people click straight through to the landing page, and then there's like a VSL video, and then like it goes through there. So like, and then out of those 30%, maybe 20% of that 100% buy. So out of the 100, 30% click, and then out of the 30%, 20%. So like it's a very small ratio. But when you build a trust with them, like you follow them, you engage with them, you build a relationship, then they follow you back. And that's when the organic traffic, like the organic social media posts come into play. Then they're like in your ecosystem, they're seeing you, they're talking about the things that you talk about, they get to know you. And eventually, maybe a month down, 3 months, 6 months, I've run campaigns, like 3 campaigns back from someone that I've talked to, like, hey, cool, whatever. Then like 6 months later, like 3 campaigns later, they reach out to me like, hey, I'm ready to get started. I'm ready to work with you. And then I convert into a sale. And so that's my secret sauce. It's like understanding that social media is to build the brand, to build trust, the sales funnels to bring them in, and then utilize social media to build relationships and nurture the leads, right? That's my secret sauce. So now let's go into the myth of viral growth. Many expect that one successful post or going viral will drive sustainable growth, but viral moments are often fleeting. Building a dedicated audience and achieving consistent sales requires a strategic long-term content plan. It's not a one-off success. So like viral content is great. We strive to go viral. So social media is always a long-term play. So next, targeted strategy versus generic posting. So simply posting without a clear understanding of the audience's needs and desires rarely translates into sales. Each platform has a unique demographic and content types that work the best. Businesses need targeted strategies backed by data and specific goals to ensure that the right messages are reaching the right people. So that's huge, right? That's where the ads, like targeting the ads, that's where that comes into play. And making sure you're communicating to the right people. So I'm going to take this to go into founder-led content. This is something that I really realized is working well in today, 2024, going into 2025. Founder-led content. So if you build like content around a business, the business kind of has less trust. Like people don't engage as much with just the direct business. But if you build a personal brand and then drive content you're driving your content to the business, it's a lot easier for a personal brand to grow and for people to connect. And then like kind of not necessarily making mindless content. I struggle with that a lot. I make content like that is about everything. It's kind of useless. It's kind of just vlogging. It's just my life. But people connect to that. They know that I'm a real person, that I'm doing real things, that I'm just living a life, and they kind of like get to know me and my personality and who I am. And that allows them to trust me when I'm doing business. And they see me like putting out content, so I'm like practicing what I preach, So that's really helped me. Founder-led content for businesses is what seems to be working really well in 2024 going into 2025. So to summarize everything, when you're starting to build your social media, can it help your business grow? 100%. But you need to get clear on the expectations. Like social media isn't a direct sales platform. When you start building your social medias, you're not going to directly get sales. You're going to warm up your audience, warm up your leads, and nurture new people coming in. That's the main purpose of social media. And then eventually, yes, it converts into, once you have a long enough horizon of this, it does feel like leads are just flowing in. But it's because you've been warming up the audience, working the social media for so long, for such a consistent time frame, that it's steady, that leads are coming in, people are reaching out. And if you do the strategy I mentioned earlier, where you're running engagement ads while utilizing organic content, that's the real way that I've seen the best results for my personal social media and my personal companies. To summarize everything, social media can help your business grow so long as you have the proper expectations and you're doing it properly and consistently over a long enough time horizon. So in the beginning of this video, I said I had a special offer. Now there's two. If you're struggling with your social media in any way, whether it's creating the content, managing the social media, et cetera, there's two solutions that we have in the description. One, if you're in Las Vegas, there's a studio in town called Pod Place, which I'm sitting in. This is a podcast studio where you could get your first session for only $100. That's really cool because it allows you to start a podcast, build a network, and check off the content, showing up on social media with content. So that's a really cool way to do it. And again, starting a podcast, I think the big value isn't just in the content. The biggest value is how I utilize my podcast is I invite like prospects, people who potentially will buy from me in which I want to open a line of communication with. So that's how I utilize the podcast. So it's a great tool. I'll link the special $100 offer in the description. Now the second solution is you could work directly with our creative. The second solution is you could work directly with our creative agency, Pathfinder Productions. We've worked with hundreds of people in helping them grow their social media, manage their social media, and create content. So that's a really cool opportunity. We work with all budget size from little to big, and we are nationwide. We have a network of videographers across the country, social media managers who are highly trained and extremely efficient with what works on social media today in 2024 going into 2025. So if you want to work with us, there's a link as well down there where you could qualify to see if we'd be a good fit. So I am super excited to hear from you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.